Hello and welcome to our video for section 4.4. This video is going to be split up into two parts. First, equations for parallel lines, and then equations for perpendicular lines. Our goal for after this video is that you should be able to write an equation of a line based on a point on that line and another line that's parallel to it, and then also use the opposite reciprocal of one line slope to then find another line based on its point and the former line that is now perpendicular to it. Okay, we'll go over that in more detail in the second video, but for now we'll focus on just finding lines that are parallel. Parallel lines defined, and this is on the note sheet that you've got, so try and follow along. Parallel lines are defined as lines that never intersect. So two lines that both go on the exact same direction forever and ever, never touch. And because of that, their slopes are going to be the same. So as it has been the case with all of the problems that we've dealt with in this chapter so far, our goal is still to find the m slope of a line and its b, the y-intercept for that line. This is another way now that we have to find the slope. Up until this point, I've either given it to you or you've had to find it by looking between 2 points. Now I'm going to give you another line, say that this new line is parallel to the old line, and then therefore you have to understand, oh, if the lines are parallel, I can take the slope from the old line, use it in my new line, because they're going to be the same. That's what parallel slopes, or excuse me, what parallel lines are. They've got the same slope. So let's look at an example, and this is again in your notes, so you'll just follow along as we go through the video. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through -4, 5, and is parallel to the graph of y equals 2x minus 4. Understand what this is saying. We have a line, it's going to go through this point, so this is going to be an x and a y in our new line that we're trying to find. And it's going to be parallel to this completely different line. So this line is y equals 2x minus 4. We need to find another line that will look similar but not the same as it. They'll be parallel. Now, first and foremost, ignore all these ones on the screen. On your paper, they should be the correct numbers. Please excuse that little technical difficulty. But the first one tells us to identify the slope needed and find m that goes with our new slope. So here's our original line, and I'm going to call that m1, and I'm going to call the new slope m2, but understand that with parallel lines, all of those things are equal. The first slope is the same as the second slope, so they both equal 2. The slope is 2 in this line, the slope is going to be 2 in our new line. So that's how difficult it is to find slope parallel lines. I just look at the old one and copy the slope. That's going to be my new m. Now with that, then as always, write out y equals mx plus b. You can't write that too much. You've got to get it memorized, so we'll go ahead and jot that down. And then we plug in what we know. We know that y is 5, so we plug in 5 for y. We just found out that the new slope was still going to be 2, so we plug in the 2 for m. And we know -4 is x, so we plug in -4 for x. 5 equals 2 times -4 plus b. And then, once we're there, guys, everything's the same that we've been doing. We have to solve for b, so we're going to multiply 2 times -4, get the -8, add the 8 to both sides. b is 13. Now, I know m, I know b, plug them in, and that's my equation. Y equals 2x plus 13. And I've done what it asked me to, right? I found a line, goes through -4, 5, and I can always plug in x and y to check that. Make sure it comes out as a true statement. And then slope is 2, slope is 2. They're parallel. I've done what I was asked to do. Honestly, I think of all the things that we've done this far, this will be one of the easiest, but don't worry, I've got hard stuff coming later. Why don't you guys try this one in your notes? Review the video if you need to. Pause now, and then after you've taken the chance to try this problem on your own, compare what you did to what I did in my notes. Welcome back. Let's see what I did. First, I identified that because the slope in my original line was 1/4, that's going to be the slope in my new line, so it's also a slope of 1/4. Plugged in what I know. Notice I cheated a little bit because these PowerPoints take a long time to put together. I did not write y equals mx plus b, but you should. I plugged in y was -1. 1/4 is still going to be m. X is going to be 4 plus b. Multiply, divide, and I end up, or excuse me, multiply and subtract, and that's where I get -1 minus 1 is -2 equals b. Excuse me for misspeaking there. Once I've got my b is -2, I know m is 1/4, so I plug in y equals 1/4 x minus 2. Okay, pause the video, review that if you need to, but that is the nuts and bolts of this first half, and everything that you do in the first worksheet we've just covered. It's a lot. It's basically the same thing we've been doing so far in this chapter. Find m, find b, plug them in, and we just have a new way to find m. Look at the slope in this line. That's the slope of my new line. Excuse me. X, y, x, y, m. Plug them in and go, guys. I won't make this any more difficult than it needs to be. Go ahead, take this time now to start your worksheet 4.4a, and once you've worked on that for a little bit, come back and watch the second video. Thank you.